The holiday season is upon us, and I've been busy getting my Plaza ready for Christmas. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Hello friends, and welcome to my channel. Christmas is one of my absolute favorite holiday seasons to decorate for, and that includes in the Valley. Even though I know in just a couple short days we're going to have the potential to add even more amazing holiday decor to the Valley, I decided I still wanted to just dive in and make it look like Christmas threw up in my Valley. I still love my Plaza layout from my previous video, so if you haven't watched that, definitely be sure to check it out, and I'll throw a link somewhere around here for you. I knew my objective for this build was to keep the overall design and layout of the area and just basically to replace the decorative items to reflect the holiday spirit. For that reason, I began this build by replacing the warm orange-toned bushes from Sunlit Plateau with the cooler-toned icy bushes from Frosted Heights. This is really something that you'll see me do throughout the entire build, as I kind of tended to go through item by item and replace what was already there with more festive items. My next step was to basically go through my inventory and find the Christmas items that were available in the game. Since my memory is basically trash, I couldn't remember what the category was that they were all listed under, so I found the color filter to be super useful and just went ahead and filtered by red and green colors. I decided to use the frosted pines for most of the trees in this build, and in the past, I've really been kind of a stickler for keeping the trees in the different biomes that they were designed for in the game, but I've seen some really beautiful builds with trees and biomes that they didn't necessarily originate in, and I'm really starting to think outside of my own box with tree placement. I also decided to use the snowy brick path that we were able to unlock with Frosted Heights because I really like the dark brick, and I also really like the seasonal feeling of the snow packed between the cracks. You'll see me struggle just a little bit here with the light placement. I really like a more cluttered, kind of crowded look in my valley, so I like a lot of bushes, grasses, flowers, etc. around my decorative items. Sometimes, however, with the way the game blocks out the items for placement, it makes it a little bit of a challenge. I also did my path in smaller sections at a time because I really wanted to keep it exactly as it was, but just change it to the snowy brick. And honestly, not the most efficient way to do it, but it is what it is. And I think by this point, we all know how to lay down a path. So let's just go ahead and zoom right through this part. One thing that I do have to say about this layout is that it did make it difficult to place larger items for focal points throughout the area. For example, I really wanted this larger tree to be the main tree at the main entrance to the plaza, but it just wouldn't work in the space. I really do think that it looks great here in front of Scrooge's shop though, and it did give me the opportunity to use some of the other seasonal items in the build. This build definitely has a lot of smaller nooks and crannies that I knew I wanted to fill with trees, flowers, bushes, all that good stuff. And if you haven't already noticed, I did go ahead and pull out a lot of the pine trees in various sizes so that I could just grab them and place them as I needed them. I think it saved me a lot of time, and I definitely think it allowed me to have more variation in my tree heights because I knew exactly what size I was getting when I grabbed them. I also went through and replaced all of the yellow flower boxes with these red and green ones to really help me achieve the overall Christmas through up here vibe. This light placement was just really a struggle for me in this build, and once I played with the orientation a little bit and realized that they also look great facing inward as well as outward, my life actually changed. I decided to go ahead and switch out the benches for the Christmas dining chairs throughout the build, and then I pulled out some of the various gift boxes to use for decor around them. I really like the way it looks, but I do think that this might be something that I change once we get new Christmas items with the upcoming Star Path. In front of Remy's restaurant, house, and my house, I really wanted to add some more of the Christmas light poles because I really love them so much. So I went ahead and moved the flowers to the middle of the path. This does make for a little bit of a tighter squeeze, but since you can walk over the flowers, it doesn't really hinder navigation too much. This is a little trick that I've used in a lot of my builds throughout my valley with not only the flowers, but also some of the underbrush items like ferns, the butterfly flowers, and some of the grass. I went back through after replacing the benches and used the presents again to fill in some of the blank spaces, and I do really like the way they look again, but I am still really hoping for some new smaller items in the game with the update to add some variety to this build. The Christmas season is by far my favorite season to decorate for, and I had so much fun transforming my valley for the holiday. I did also stream this build over on Twitch, so if you ever hang out over there and you want to come chat with me while I decorate, be sure to drop me a follow. I'm finally feeling a bit more settled into my new home, so I'm really hoping to get back into regularly posting content over here on YouTube as well. Anyway, that's all I had for you today, friends. Until next time, peace out.